Oh buddy, we are here with a pretty decent, in fact this is probably as good a LS, as straight out LS engine as we're gonna do and as you're pretty much gonna find when it's water jacketed, cast block, cast cylinder head, so cast aluminum. So Kyle is working on this thing and he has done the hot side, cold side for this. So we're going to use this as the our SML setup and big horsepower LS setups. And this is for, this particular engine is for Alex Szabo. And Alex has actually bought a SML from us too. So this is going to be like the starter engine for him, and then we're going to put all the same system on for his SML as we get that thing all the way through process. So Kyle, why don't you tell us what we got going on here?
So basically, like he said, cast block, cast head, nothing super fancy billet on it like it is on the SML that he ordered. But as far as LS stuff goes, it is pretty bad. So it's all pro LS7 cylinder heads, LSR block, Cali's crankshaft, all our super really bad boy go fast parts on it. Are obviously billet intake, billet covers, parts twin 76s I believe they are. Yeah, ball bearing, really nice turbos.
Yeah, those are super nice turbos. This is kind of like the, I think they make another super cheater version, like super good version of this one. I don't think these are the super Billy Bad Boy cheaters, but just the medium cheaters. Nice turbo. Anyways.
Right, so we running it on a Holly Dominator today on the dyno, and I just did all our initial startup stuff with wiring and wiring up the second set of injectors, doing all our hot side, cold side stuff, hooked up all oil, all the fuel. So
what kind of fuel is it on?
Methanol. It's a methanol engine. But this will be a drag and drive type deal as it has water and everything like that. So he's going to do a little bit of street driving on this engine as well.
What kind of oil system is it?
That's a daily billet dry, so you can't really see it unless you get right under there. But.
So daily billet pan and oil pump setup. And as you can see here, we also have our fuel pump drive, cam sync, and oil pump setup, which is going to be real similar, the same as what it is on our SML stuff. So drag and drive, so you'll be able to just take the belt off of the fuel pump, run it through gasoline, especially with this style injector, which these are these 2150 FIC 2150s. Now on 90 psi fuel pressure, these things flow 300, I believe, 295, 300 pounds per hour each. So ample for what we're going to be doing with this particular project. Cylinder head,
all pro LS7s, just usual Inconel valves, titanium valves.
titanium intake,
Inconel
exhaust. It's on an all pro 12-4 head, I believe these ones are. Jessel rocker system on this. Normal deal through there. These are, like I said, everything hot side, cold side is all ours, but these are Alex's turbos. Obviously, you can see the daily dry sump, and that's the dry sump tank. So that's just our dyno tank that we use here. And, oh, what else we got? Coil on plug. That is pretty much about it. So, Kyle's already run through the startup and warm up. Let's see here, and we can do. We actually have set up a temporary timing pointer, so you could check timing on it. This still has this is the crank trigger, so you're gonna have to check timing on it, because this is an external crank trigger. Not using the internal crank trigger. And this is going to be the way it'll be on the SMLs, although you can use a 58 tooth wheel. I do have a sensor location in the block, but in general, we're going to run these because I do like them better. And they do work better with a cam sync setup. So I'm going to turn this thing over and let Kyle take it from here.
All right, so getting ready to set our static timing on this. To see where we got our crank trigger at. I already got a pretty good baseline on it. Should be right around 60 degrees for our reference angle. But just gonna clip that on our #1 spark plug. Arrow facing towards the spark plug, and we're gonna go check it out. Alright, so you thought it was a couple degrees advanced, so I had to shut it off, change the reference angle on the program, and then come back in and recheck it. But I got it all set. So I'm just gonna go over it one more time and check for leaks, make sure we ain't got nothing leaking on the floor, and then I think we're gonna start making our preliminary pulls. Another thing that we get a lot of comments on every once in a while on our dyno when we're doing these videos is people comment about the clunking that they sometimes hear, or like a little bit of rattle almost. That's actually the dyno itself. You can see the way that we have it set up. It's actually got clutch springs in there. So those will oftentimes rattle a lot, and especially when it's idling real low, or if it's really lopey, then you'll hear that thing rattling. But just something I wanted to address. All right, so we got the static timing all checked out. Timing's where it needs to be. I got a pretty good idea of where this thing needs to be for cranking fuel in order to start good. So I've got it set up in here. I got my V table, my pound hour table looking good. Basically how it's supposed to look. So I think we're gonna take a little try on it here. Set this on the tripod. Oh, it sounded pretty good. I took a data log on it on the computer over here, so I'm gonna set the phone down, go take a look at the data, and make some changes and start creeping up on it. You can hear there it actually opened the wastegates, so we'll see how much boost we're making. Probably do a plug read, see where we're at on there. All right, so just pulled the plugs off of that pass. Plenty, let's see if you can see it there. Plenty safe, plenty rich still. Come on, there you go. So I'll go show you. I mean, 6 pounds of boost on a 427 cubic inch LS, just under 1,000 horsepower, so we're gonna keep creeping up on it still. All right, so yesterday we made a couple of hits on it. Just made a little bit over 1,200 horsepower on the final pull yesterday. So now that I've got some heat in it, I'm gonna go ahead and do a cylinder head retorque on this whole thing. And we're gonna start leaning on it thick. All right, got everything back together. So we're gonna go ahead and do our first cold starter of the day, get everything warmed up, and then we're gonna make some more pulls. All right, first pull of the day, I ramped some more boost in, so let's see what it does. All right, yeah, nice easy pull. Still need to get after our boost probably a little bit more. It's taking a lot of dome pressure on it to make the boost, so I'll go back with the data log and figure it out from there. All right, so that one sounded pretty good. Let's see what it made. $19.53, just under 2,000. We're still like way late on boost, way late on timing. Still fat rich. So we're gonna keep sneaking up on it here. I'll show you guys how much it made for boost. So 20 pounds of boost, but like I said, you know, with no timing, for the horsepower we're going for, that's still way low. Oil pressure is all looking good. Fuel pressure is looking good. I think we're gonna take a look at some plugs, take a look at the data, and then I'll get back with you guys.
Pretty sweet. This is where I come in and say, oh, what's going on? That looks good. Where you at for boost and stuff?
Yeah, a couple more pounds in it this time around, but I took more timing out of it, like you said. So, oops.
Yeah.
$22 pounds of boost.
Dang. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see up closer here. 22. Oil pressure is looking sweet. Everything's good there. Fuel pressure is right. All right. I'm gonna bring up your data log and look at that. So we'll lean on this a little bit harder because obviously 22 pounds of boost is nothing. Those are some pretty good turbos, I think. Better in this chair. Wait for that to download. You've been showing much of the stuff there?
Not on the data log side of things, I haven't.
No? Was that shaking?
Yeah.
taking some fuel away out there at the high end.
Rich.
What is, oh, dome pressure. The O2s are nice and tight. That looks good. Smooth those out just a little bit more, but yeah, that's a nice tight looking O2. Looks good. It's taking, this is the blue line is the O2 correction, so it's taking fuel out of it right here. And where's our boost? Is the dark blue line right here. And it's kind of jerking around up there a little bit. It's actually only 20 here.
The dyno says it's a little bit high.
Yep.
20 compared to 22.
Dome pressure is really jerking around here too, so it's not smooth, and it really should be. We'll go over here and look at your dome pressure setting. Must be something in the PID. You got 50 psi, 30 RPM per second. That's not nearly as smooth as it should be. I can't remember what I think there's a different PID here for controlling that that'll be a little smoother. Yeah. So I would mess with that, but definitely looking real good. And that's sweet. So just continue on. So we already retorqued, relashed. Everything's all set there. Yeah, we can do a plug read and lean on it a little bit more.
Alright, so just a couple more pounds on the dome is all I did to it, and left the timing pretty much alone because I knew that as it was going to make more boost, I already have it set up so that it's going to have less timing in it. It's just the way I set the graph up. So 2180, man, we're almost to our goal already. Let's pull up our boost numbers here. Oh yeah, see, according to the dyno, still only 23 pounds of boost. Oil pressure looks awesome, fuel pressure looks awesome. So I'll show you guys the data log here. I'll take this thing off the shop pod. Go. Our dome pressure is still doing something funny up there, going back and forth. I did screw around with the D term, and I gave it a number there. So I'll go back and I'll compare these logs and see if that actually did anything or made it better. But let's see here. Yeah, see, it is affecting our boost too, but 22 pounds of boost. Like I said before, the dyno is reading just a smidge higher than what it is on the actual data log, and I'll trust this data log more than I trust the actual dyno, to be honest with you. But let's see here. Yeah, out here where it's making all that power, we're only at 25.7 degrees of timing. It's still pulling a little bit of fuel out there, so I'll be sure to go back and correct that in our VE table. Yeah, it's still pulling. Let's see. 3.7 on our AFR, so looking good there. So I'll go make a couple more changes and then make another hit on it. Alright guys, here we are. Hopefully this will be the final pull. Looking for like 2,300 or so. We'll be like 2,500 plus once it's actually in the car, but there's no point in trying to just chase a number on the dyno. So here we go. Sounded pretty good. Just tagged the rev limiter out there. Just a little bit. Oh yeah. There's our number. Yep. 2368 at 8,000 RPM. Let's take a look at our boost here. Yep. Whoops. So you can see the dyno says it made 27 pounds of boost. Oil pressure looks good, fuel pressure looks good, as it has been through all of today pretty much. But let's go download that data log and look at that real quick. Yeah, I think Alex is going to be pretty happy with this thing. It's making a lot of power for, you know, just that much boost. Let's see, just tagged rev limiter out there. $26 pounds of boost. Closed loop comp is looking all right. Probably take a little bit more fuel out of it here in the VE table, but dome pressure is still pulsating out there a little bit. It doesn't seem to be too much of a big deal. I'd like to eventually figure that out. But everything's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go pull a plug and I think we'll call it a day.
Where are you at? Let's see where you're at. That's good. That's good power. I heard you put it on the rev limiter on there, so obviously the rev limiter is set at 8,000 or just below. So, but that looks good. How many pounds of boost? What's everything look like? So that is at 25 pounds of boost. Dang. So we're starting to put a bunch of starting to have to put more pressure on the wastegate. But there's definitely more left in it. If we wanted to lean on this particular combination harder, those turbos are still good for more horsepower. Exactly how much, I don't know. But we're at where he wants to be. I think that this is a pretty nice. The O2 looks nice. The correction's right good on the money. Everything's within less than 10%. Air fuel ratios look great. Oil pressure's good.
Everything looks right dead in line of what it should be. I think it's pretty good.
We're gonna have, now Kyle's gonna finish this up by converting it over to gas, and then he'll just work on a simple starter street tune, because street tunes always have to be done in the car. It's really hard to simulate all the little pedal positions and whatnot. But he'll still put it on pump gas and now do that tune up for it. And this race gas tune up is pretty sweet. And I think that, there's probably more at it, but we're not accomplishing a lot by just leaning on it. We can actually be doing this in the car is a better place to do it, especially when we're building the bigger, badder, better piece after this. So I think it's really good. Good job, Kyle.